What is up, everybody? This is your boy Harley. Welcome back with another video, y'all. And your boy got some new content coming in too. Another story for your boy to tell, and I'm just gonna go right into it. And I know I'm doing this pretty late, but I'm gonna try to upload this at a decent time. Try to. So if y'all watch this video now, I probably set to the premiere at the set time that was gonna be set to watch at. So I might do that. If not, and you watch this video as a regular upload, then y'all gonna enjoy it just as well. Um, right now, I'm gonna discuss to you about my last relationship. All right, so it's something I thought about for a long while, and I couldn't do this. I did, but I couldn't because when I did speak upon my last relationship, when she saw the video, she took offense to it. It was a long story years ago, and this was during a time where I didn't know as much on social media as I do now. And I didn't use her name, so I don't know. Well, I think I did. I don't know. I would have to look back years ago, but that shit would take so long. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I've been single for 2.5 years. Yes, I've been single for 2.5 years since October of 2018. Now, what's funny was that let me try to see if I'm good for you. All right, I'll just go like this. What's I know I'm getting comfy. It's funny. What's the thing was how I met her was she was my server at Flanagan's, and I was with some of my close friends, and we went out to watch an NFL game. It was a Patriots game, and so we were enjoying the game. We were just enjoying vibe, and we were pre-planning for my birthday. At that time, I was 22, going on 23 at the time. So it was some planning was going on. We met this very beautiful server. Her name, well, I don't know if I should say the name. I'm probably just gonna. I might keep the name private out of safety. Might. It depends how I feel, but because this isn't to make anything bad about her at all. I just don't. It's just if I decided to use the name, I wouldn't want this to backlash at me. So we went. We went out. She was my server. All of a sudden, my friend started to say some funny stuff to where it was something that she didn't need to hear. So I told her I apologize for what she had to hear. And let's just say, she said, "Hope you give me a lap dance one day." And I'm like, "Tell me when and where." So she started hitting on me and all that stuff too. So we got to know each other a little bit more. Her coworkers were trying to lead her on into trying to date me and all that stuff too. And then we've clicked. We've had some good conversations. We even have a good conversation from when we met at the restaurant later on that night, and it was up until 4 a.m. when we kept on texting. So our energy and vibe was there. So we would go on dates. Um, we would head third, fourth, fifth, sixth base, seventh, eighth, all that stuff too. So we've went through so many bases that some of y'all already know what I'm trying to say within this video. Until it got to the point where, after a while, she was just like, "I don't want to be that type of." I'm saying it in appropriate terms, so I hope some of y'all get what I'm saying it. So, I then thought to myself, if it's not her, who else? So that's when I wanted to be in a relationship with her, and she was ready. She was ready, like I was ready at the same time. We went on some good dates, did a lot of stuff together. I'd come sleep over at her house and vice versa. And she was a very beautiful Haitian girl. She was majoring to become a teacher, an elementary teacher. And she's doing very, very well doing that right now. So she's an elementary teacher, and she's doing this in New York now. And I'm going to explain why it's in New York. So, as we started to get to know each other a little bit more, like, well, not know each other, as we started going on a little bit more dates, we decided to go out on New Year's Eve. It was 2017 going to on 2018. And we went out and we slept over at her house, had fun, got drunk, all that too. So we went home, got drunk, slept, saw boxes that night. Then the following day we decided let's go to Sawgrass Mall. We went there and we spent nearly the whole day with each other. Doing it, and I wanted to be with her. So as we get into the car after we get what we want, I ask her. So I saw some boxes in the. I saw some boxes in your closet. Any specific reason for that? She's like, oh no, I'm actually moving. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Where are you moving to? Like closer to me, further away from me? She's like, well, it's in another state, and I'm moving back to New York. I'm like, moving back to New York. Now, initially, she did say that she was gonna have to move to back to New York, with next month, but she ended up getting an additional 2 month stay, and because I asked her when is she coming back, or actually no, I'm sorry, not coming back. When are you leave? When is she leaving? And she said of March, and then I was just like, damn, just like when everything was starting to get better and everything was going very smoothly, so perfectly, it was not a way for this to end. So I made a commitment to say, let's just go ahead and go on as many dates as possible and make your last couple of months worth there. We do a lot. We go out for ice cream. We go out to carnivals. We go out to drive-in movie theaters. We name me a plate. We go out to restaurants that we eat. Bring her to one of my jobs at the time to eat. Like, list goes on and on. Like, it was up there as probably my best relationship ever. So, like, anytime I rolled my ankle in basketball and I came home and I told her I was hurt, I didn't even tell her to come over, but she would come over, massage my ankle. And we watched The Lion King together. And yes, Lion King was one of my movies growing up. And when you go to the actual play, the cast, the storyline is so much better compared to a lot of other Disney movies or just any other animated series. Like, Lion King had the realest storyline. So we celebrated, or we went out on our last day together. I got emotional, she got emotional, we went our separate paths, and then she went off to New York the next day. And so we were keeping each other contact. I'm gonna forget my words. Sorry, y'all. And we were trying to see how everything was going. At one point, she was doing very well. I was doing well. I wasn't doing as well as she was, but as it started to go month after month, I did ask her this one thing, and this is when some of you all are gonna get very shocked about what I'm about to say, and what I'm about to tell you what happened, and because this is when I would expect all of y'all to learn from me in this case. So I asked her on FaceTime, when are we going to be able to see each other? She was like, I honestly don't know. With the time that I have, that's limiting because of school and everything that's going on, it's very hard for me to be able to make time. And by the way, the reason why, if some of you are wondering, the reason why she had to move to New York was because she couldn't handle the stress of what was going on in Florida. So she figured that she took an easier route for her career and life in New York. So that's why, because of school, work, etc. Bills, I should also include that too. So then I finish refing one of my games, and I just get into the car, I go and check out my Instagram story. I click on her story, and I'm like, okay, let's see what she posted. This is 2 days after I FaceTimed her, and she told me she didn't know when she was coming down. All of a sudden, I see her getting a tattoo like 2-3 miles away from me, from where I live. Yeah, you've heard that correctly. You heard it correctly. You heard that she was 2-3 miles away from me getting a tattoo. And I sent a message, you're in Florida? With in all caps and exclamation points. And not only that, she was in Miami. She was doing all this stuff. Like, she was all over town from Fort Lauderdale to Miami. Like, and that's where I live, which is in Fort Lauderdale. So, like, it's this is crazy. She didn't even respond till the next day. She's like, sorry, sweet pea, it's been such a drag. It's just been so stressful because I'm getting everyone prepared for their birthdays. I'm like, I've just been so distracted, as she said. I'm like, distracted? Distracted? What do you mean distracted? Like, how are you distracted when I asked you when you were coming down to Florida and you say you don't know? And she's like, I thought I told you. Let's just say that she tried to make so many excuses. Let's just say she tried to deflect and try to make so many excuses. Try to admit that she was wrong just so she could have me move on to the next topic. And I don't think she felt any remorse from when I encountered this. And then when I asked her, when are you going back to New York then, if you're down here? She set up that day tonight. I just got so upset, so infuriated, because you gotta understand something. I've been wanting to see her for months. I've held off other people to meet and held off dates to date other women to wait for her. And that's what she does to me, which is lie and play it as if like I wasn't gonna find out through social media that she was in Florida. Because the funny thing was, let me give you a good perfect scenario on why she's not sorry. Because, and this is exactly why, like, social media it can be very dangerous, but very perfect in situations like this. Like, let's say I wasn't a big social media avid. I didn't have Instagram, because that's where I found out that she was in Florida. Let's just say I didn't even click on the story. I didn't even use Instagram the way I was supposed to. If I told her anything, I said, how's New York doing? How's it doing up there in New York? She would have said, oh, it's going very well. And during that time frame of when she would respond to that would be the time that she was in Florida. That's why I know she wasn't sorry. I was just so confused. When people ask me, is this a woman you can really trust long term? I'm like, yes. And I was looked at as a fool at this point because of that situation right there. I was just depressed and all that stuff too. I was just like, I can't believe this is happening. Then after that, like like I told her at least contact me when you get on the plane. She's like, okay, I will. She doesn't even contact me when she gets on the plane. I just see her post more stories of what was going on in Miami and Florida. Florida in general. I'm just not even gonna name the cities. It was like that. So a week later I came to terms where I broke up with her. It was better to go my own separate path. And I did speak on that breakup on social media, and then she was like, you're very immature about how you're talking about our relationship. And she was like saying like, oh, you're also very immature about saying how karma's going to come back to hit me, because I did say that karma will come back to hit her. And I'm like, wait, I'm the last person to talk about karma. And you should not be the one angry at me when I've been the one angry at you, trying to wonder when you were coming down here. And if I didn't use Instagram the way I would have, you would have lied to me. So that's how I know that you're not sorry. So so I told her I'm gonna feel sorry for your friends to where if you ever do something like that. So that's why at that point, honesty and loyalty has always been and those have been one of my biggest things growing up. Not well, it actually became much more of a factor after that relationship. Because now, if you want a relationship with me, you gotta be honest, you gotta be loyal, you gotta be upfront with me, and you can't lie to me. It's it's one of my ground rules when you're trying to gain something with me and you're trying to develop something with me. You cannot lie to me, and vice versa. I will not lie to you. So then, because a lot of bruises and scratches and bloodlines of scratches will excuse me, it will come in a deep path to where it will affect you in the long run. So that's why I've been hesitant on being in a relationship. That's why I'm not so quick on doing it. So that's why I'm single. That's why I don't rush into things. And that's why I'm just taking my time. And I am single, by the way. The girl that you saw on my stories a couple times, or when I've mentioned her name, we don't talk anymore. For some reason, like she's in this weird stage right now. She wanted to give her a break, and she was and she would allow me to text her here and there. But all of a sudden, she probably has my number blocked. Probably has me on do not disturb. I have no idea. So, I'm just, you know what? I'm a young 26-year-old man, who has a lot ahead of him. And who actually, let me rephrase that. Who has a lot ahead of myself, and I will be the first to tell you that stuff like that will not drag me down, because I know my ability to get any woman I know I can get if I put my mind to it, and if I know I put my whole devotion of knowing that if I really want someone, I can go after and get it. But I'm not in a rush right now. But I love y'all. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for taking the time to watch this 17 and almost and a half minute video. I'm going to see y'all later. More content coming. Holla at me later. Yeah.